long-awaited face-off between the Federal Trade Commission and Meta, now in its second week. And Instagram co-founder Kevin Systrom taking the stand today. Lauren Feiner is a senior policy reporter at The Verge. She's been following the antitrust trial since the beginning, and she joins us now live to discuss. Lauren, thanks for coming in here. Can we start at the beginning here? This is part of a 6-year-long investigation when Meta acquired Instagram and WhatsApp. Regulators approved it then. So what is this case about now?
Yeah, so this case is about basically two key acquisitions that Meta made back in 2012 and 2014. It's acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp. And the government is basically saying that through these acquisitions, Meta identified potential competitors to its monopoly in the personal social networking services space, and it scooped them up so that they couldn't become threats in the future, and it used that to secure its dominance. And it says that that is anti-competitive.
Okay, so the founder of Instagram was on the stand today. You were covering that. Tell us about the witnesses and the evidence that's been presented so far.
Yeah, so week one last week, we heard from Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his former COO Sheryl Sandberg, and they talked about why it was important for them to acquire these companies, how they helped them, why it was beneficial to consumers, the ways they helped them grow. And today we heard from Instagram co-founder Kevin Systrom, who was CEO of the company after it was acquired by Meta, but later left in 2018. And that was after some disagreements that he had with Meta leadership at the time about how the company was allocating resources to Instagram. And so we heard a lot about that today and why he felt like Meta was underinvesting in Instagram.
So the government essentially wants to break up this monopoly. What would happen for users of these social media platforms if that were to happen? Do you have a sense of that?
Sure. So first of all, if this company is ordered to be broken up, which would come after an entirely different phase of proceedings. If Meta is found to be a monopoly in the first place, we'd be years away from seeing anything like that actually happening with appeals. But that said, ultimately, if Meta were broken up, in theory, you could see Instagram, WhatsApp operating as separate companies competing against Meta. And, Meta would say they wouldn't have access to all the resources that they currently do today and maybe wouldn't be as well off. But the government is betting that competition in social media would actually be much better if all of these different apps had to compete with one another.
What about privacy? Has that come up much yet in the testimony?
It has a bit. We've heard some mention of Cambridge Analytica, for example. Today, Kevin Systrom was talking about how after Cambridge Analytica, when Meta was talking about adding headcount in trust and safety across the company, Instagram actually wasn't allocated any of those resources. There was a centralized team for this that Instagram had access to, but not staff that was dedicated to Instagram specifically. So we've heard about privacy in areas like that. And overall, the government is betting that, if privacy is something that some consumers really care about, if there were more competition in the market, maybe they could actually leave Facebook and have other places to go if that was an option.
This is a $1.5 trillion advertising business. We'll see where all this goes. Lauren Feiner at The Verge, thanks for reporting on it. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.